So that's why that is just cap. Like, tell them people, like, you know, tell everybody, bro, that one, what was signed? Two, might have over 100. When I signed the Rap Snacks deal, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't forgery, like, so, but the bad part about that shit is, like, claiming that I forged the signature on that jeopardizes a whole lot of other business too. And that's one of the things I've been wanting to talk to him about, but I haven't been able to kind of get him to understand that we are stronger together. If we are unified, you know, this only works if we're unified.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How did you initially find your Bleu? Like,
okay.
Because you was, not to cut you off, you was actually the one that found him in the first place, right?
That is correct. Okay. That is correct. So, man, the way I found Bleu, and I'm about to tell you, that was the first time I realized, like, dang, this was like good karma. Like, this was like, up until recently, I felt like it was a true blessing. You know what I'm saying? I looked at Bleu as a true blessing to what we had been trying to do. But how I found them is, and this goes into why I felt like it was a blessing or good karma. I found Bleu while going through music submissions. Yes, and I still to this day I go through my submissions, bro. So y'all send me music, like, but it was during the flood of 2006, the Baton Rouge flood of 2016. So that's another thing. This how long we been in business. This ain't no overnight shit, bro. Like, when you talk about what's owed to who, this ain't no. It's a whole lot. It can't be in no 60-second clip, bro. It's deeper than a whole lot of shit. But to answer your question, it was during the Baton Rouge flood of 2016. The whole Baton Rouge was underwater from just rain, not even no hurricane. Shit was crazy. But Boosie and my family bought a bunch of supplies and essentials to give to some of the people in need in Baton Rouge. So the way that, so basically Boosie put up the money. I went to this little spot in Atlanta that sold like a flea market type spot that sold like cheap socks, drawers, and shit like that. I think we spent about $20,000. About $20,000. I mean, we blessed the people, bro. But I think Boosie put up like 20 and bought them but socks, drawers, essentials for to give to the people. So I went and purchased all of the stuff, loaded up in the U-Haul, and was driving from Atlanta to Baton Rouge. That's about an 8-hour drive. During that drive, I'm in a U-Haul slabbing by myself. So I'm just going through my email. Just shit, like, that bitch ain't had no Bluetooth or nothing. So I'm just listening to shit in my email. Literally just going through, man. I was like, okay, listening to shit. So I come across an email from Bleu, and it's like, TQ, it says something like this. I don't have that email no more because it was hacked, but it said something like this. It was, TQ, I know you the man to talk to if you really want to do business with Badass. But I'm one of the hottest in the city. I'm from Mobile. Check out my music, man. I would love to sign to Badass, bro. Whatever, something like that. I listened to, he sent maybe 3 songs in the first email. I go through them. I'm like, damn, that bitch jam. Go to the next one. Damn, that bitch jam. Go to the next one. Damn, that bitch jam. I email him back. I'm almost to Alabama. I'm almost to Mobile. I email him back, send me some more. Because that's the first thing I do. When I'm listening to an artist or I get something that's nice or decent from an artist, I'm trying to see how much they got. Because anybody, I mean, I feel like most people can do like 1 or 2 songs if they try. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that nigga sent me some more shit in like 5 minutes. So I'm talking about responsive. So I hear that and I'm just like, okay, shit, like, damn, this nigga nice. So I'm like, man, what's your number? I call him up. And actually, before I call him, I'm like, what this nigga look like? Because, you know, that's the first thing you do. You be like, man, what this nigga look like? This nigga got this different. I'm like, man, this nigga don't look like he sound. You know what I'm saying? That's just being real. Nigga got a deep-ass voice. And then at that time, he sounded a lot like Future, right? So I'm like, this nigga got this deep-ass voice. This nigga do not sound like he look. But I call him, and I'm like, yo, man, hey, bro, look, I like your music, bro. Hey, look, I gotta go drop these supplies off in BR. On the way back, hey, I'ma holler at you, bro. I'm telling you, I want to sign you. So, we were doing a good deed, bro. That shit, like, man, that shit had never happened before. Like it was a massive flood, catastrophic flood, and that shit made me end up sitting me down to go through my submissions and found a star, a certified fucking star. You know what I'm saying? And but Bleu is somebody who's very resourceful. Like one thing that I was always impressed by with Bleu is how he know how to do a lot of shit himself. Like, and that shit really shine when he in the studio. That nigga know how to get his sound. He know how to have knew how to have his template set up. Bleu been making music for a long time, bro. You know what I'm saying? So everything that he has, he's earned. Everything he has, he's earned. So with Bleu, that's how I found Bleu. And the other thing was, when I called Boosie, I'm like, nigga, I found a nigga that's about to get us out the ghetto. Everybody will, for about 2 years, that's the first thing I told Boosie. And that's the first thing I was telling everybody that. I'm telling my best friends that ain't in music, I'm like, man, I got an artist that's gonna get me out the ghetto. And by the ghetto, I'm not talking about just like, when I say get out the ghetto, I'm not talking about just like, that I don't fuck with the struggle, because the struggle is, that's the most recession-free part of the music business. It's a ghetto in every city. That's why we did the project. I named it that. It's a ghetto in every city. It's a struggle everywhere. So I'm never gonna be too far away from being around music that's about struggling, that's about getting on, or how to get on, or how to change your situation, or how to overcome, or how to fall in love, or how to deal with falling out of love. Like, I'm never gonna be too far away from the struggle. But with Bleu, I said, this nigga gonna have us in other places, out the ghetto, out this, everything ain't gonna, this nigga, this him. So I knew that, and then he wasn't even doing what he was doing now. He explained to me creatively that where he wanted to go, and I told him not yet. I say, the first audience that I'm gonna introduce you to, they ain't gonna fuck with this. The badass fans, they gonna be like, man, what the fuck is this? Boosie signing. So that part, that's how that went, man. So, but I knew it out the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, so with you saying that, alright, so with Bleu and like his emergence in the industry, how do you feel like that overall impacted the badass syndicate? And do you feel like it was other artists that could have possibly reached what Bleu is?
It didn't. We have not capitalized off that at all. And that's because of Boosie. The syndicate, everything that, all my efforts was for that to happen. I'm understanding of how the label capitalize of it. I understand how we make money. See, the label, when a label does a deal with the artist, or for an artist, or do a joint venture, the money goes to the label. It don't go to my pocket. It don't go to Boosie pocket. It ain't Boosie money. It's the label money. Boosie pays himself a salary or a bonus or, you feel what I'm saying? So when people say for the purpose of, you know, he was a badass, yes, but it's how badass was supposed to capitalize was supposed to be the label making a bunch of profit to grow the label and other artists and using the leverage of Bleu Success to run another artist right behind him, then another artist right behind him. That is what was supposed to happen. And that is what every time I sit down and talk to somebody, every time I try to set Boosie down to say, hey man, this is the play. This is the play I'm setting up. It was around that. It ain't off of hitting licks or hustling or going into somebody's money or artist's money. You know, it ain't about, it ain't, it's a label, it's about doing, operating as a company. So we have not capitalized because Badass Music Syndicate has not operated like it's supposed to, has not done the things it's supposed to do as a company to take it there. And as far as other artists that have been signed, who I believe should and could be level up quite a few levels. B Will. B Will was the first artist that I signed to the syndicate. B Will, I know B Will because from Southern. You know, B Will is a nuke. Yeah. You know, B Will is, you know, man, that nigga raw. I'm talking about raw. But B Will, when I signed B Will was new to making music.